at the time my discipline wasn't right, then it's a game changer. Once I pass, I get my return on investment.
Hello, Mr. James. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for allowing me the interview. I'd just like to give you a brief background of myself.
Yeah.
I'm 37 years old. I'm based in Johannesburg, South Africa. I've more background on myself. I'm basically a self-employed entrepreneur. I actually own two businesses, and yeah, it's been going well until, when COVID happened, I realized that, I really want to be more time rich, just in terms of not working, a regular 9 to 5, if that makes sense, and to, live my life a bit more freely. And I came across, Forex in 2020, and started learning and, understanding how the market actually works. I didn't really put any money into it at the time, and I basically started on YouTube videos and all sorts just to try and figure out how am I gonna, what works best for me. So that happened obviously in 2020, where started to figure out what's gonna work best for me. And I've come to the realization that Forex can offer me so much freedom in my life if I understand the fundamentals of trading itself. So the currency piece that I'm trading, well, it's not currency piece, but I'm on Spot Crude and Gold, and I feel like those two commodities are really what I'm looking for as a trader. So I've made literally every mistake in the book, I would say, in the past. Lost money and all sorts. And then I realized a lot is based down on psychology. And that was another thing I thought that was very appealing for me as a trader, where, trading is not just about, making money. It's also a very psychological factor that factors into discipline and, and all sorts in between.
Exactly.
So for me, I've had to learn the hard way on discipline and all sorts. And I've to honestly say I've really matured as a trader, over the past year or so. I've joined other prop firms as well. I've passed one which was through men funding. However, I think at the time my discipline wasn't right. That was about 6 months ago, and I realized that, maybe I should just change my approach and not be as aggressive. I can find great trades, but it's always about the discipline and understanding, not to move your stop loss unnecessary, or not to, overcompensate on taking too much lot sizes and all sorts in between. So I've come to the realization that, I'd rather go on the slow and steady pace on growth. And yeah, for me, like I said, it's not about, I don't try and chase big numbers at the end of the day. I chase maybe 100 pips, 50 pips in a day. I realize that those are better suited trades for what I'm doing currently. Yeah, is there any other things that I can maybe tap into if we have?
Yeah, surely. Let's say, for example, are you a part-time trader or a full-time trader?
I'm currently part-time, but I'm really at the point where I want to transition into going full-time.
All right. So as per our previous discussion, you are currently trading not only Forex pairs but also crude oil, gold, etc. Right?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite pair?
Crude.
Crude.
100%. Spot crude is my favorite. Right now, the past 2 weeks, it hasn't been the greatest to trade on, but there were still good opportunities. But but I'll see once it breaks into a new range. I'll definitely I'm keeping my eye on that. Gold, I'm also every day on those charts. That two charts are constantly, I'm looking at them, but not all the time. But at least for 2 hours a day, I'm looking through those charts and seeing what's the next setup, or and how to play out.
During which sessions are you actively looking into the charts?
Definitely the UK and US Open.
All right. So what actually made you interested to join prop firms in the first place?
Look, I've put a lot of money physically into. I mean, this is now cutting your teeth, and we know all traders will inevitably lose money at the beginning. And I've had normal trading accounts. Where I'll put $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and then, I think that time, like I said, my psychology was a bit wrong. Not a bit, it was very wrong. I always tried to flip the account, which didn't work. I make money, and then as soon as I make it $2,000, I'll lose $2,000. So I was in that cycle the whole time, and then I realized that with the prop firm, it can, if I stick within the rules, I don't really have an excuse to fail, if that makes sense, unless I take unnecessary risk.
Yes.
But I just realized if I just do my simple math and say, if I lose out of 10 trades, I lose 5, but I win 5, I'll still be inevitably profitable with risk management.
Exactly.
So that was my psychology around joining a prop firm, because I realized that I don't need to be chasing to make $10,000 a day, and like what these guys are doing on YouTube. I made $100,000 in one day, which I know it's probably possible, but I mean, for me right now, I think it's more on the journey of looking at a prop firm as a business proposition. Versus trying to get rich quick. I realized that with prop firms, if I'm profitable on one account and I open up a second account, and that second account is profitable, and the third one, then that's where I see the compounding happening. If you have 10 accounts with a prop firm, then then it's a game changer. Realistically speaking, I don't need to risk big money. But if I make $500 a day, realistically, I'm making $5,000 a day, because it's split between 10 accounts. If I do a trade, copy a plan, or whatever the case may be, on my trades, copied on 10 accounts, I definitely feel like that's very appealing to me. So yeah, that's what drove me into the prop firm is technically showing that I've got the skill to trade, but number 2 is I'm also disciplined with my risk management, which is important.
All right. So you previously traded with other prop firms as well, right? So
yeah.
What actually made you interested to join FundedNext?
I liked what I saw. The other prop firms, what I saw was that I didn't have a lot of room to move, if that makes sense. Just in the sense that I didn't have room. Like I was with main funding. I think their rules were like very strict. I can't go into X amount of drawdown and all sorts. But don't get me wrong, I passed on my first try. But I think at that time my psychology was it was off. When I passed, I literally tried to flip the account within the first 2 days, which didn't work out. And then I realized, okay, I had to take the stab to the heart and say, okay, let me start from over, but this time I have to, take a more of a humble approach. When I found FundedNext, I feel like there's more leeway in terms of drawdowns and daily losses and all sorts. Because I realized once you're in a very tight spread of rules, this makes sense, that kind of affects your psychology a lot. I'm just making an example with main funding. I think I went into a drawdown where it was, I think, $500 or something like that. But then I realized, man, I only have room for realistically maybe another 3 or 4 trades here. If I lose two, I'll have a problem, and all sorts. So that actually messed up with my psychology a bit. Where I looked at your rules and I realized, okay, yes, you do have strict rules, but it's a bit more lenient in terms of sometimes we all make mistakes, as traders, and whatever the case may be. But I'm just trying to say is like your rules are more. I won't say it's strict. It is strict, but it's got more leeway. If I make a mistake, I don't need to beat myself up and say, "Oh man, I just lost X amount now, and I'm in a big problem right now." So, yeah, I just feel more comfortable when I read the rules on your website, and I looked at the reviews as well of what a lot of people are saying. You guys have been established, for a long time. I know there's my Forex funds and all the other competition out there, but see, this is something more appealing to FundedNext for me personally. That spoke to me as a trader, maybe even for my style of trading as well.
All right. So there are many things we're offering right now. Let's say, for example, the account manager, the 15% profit share from the demo phase, etc. So, what's the thing you like most about FundedNext?
I definitely like the split between the first month, you wait 30 days for your first payout, and then after that it's bi-weekly. And number two, it's that essentially if I pass my my demo phase, that 15%, like you said as well, will get split. So essentially, for me as a business proposition, it makes like, if I pass, I get my money back, my return on investment from putting the work in. So I feel like that's rewarding from the word go. You know what I mean? I feel like with other firms, they don't do that. So I think for any trader, they want to first taste money, psychologically. And which is motivating at the end of the day for any trader, really, at the end of the day. That I know, I have peace of mind that once I pass, I get my return on investment. So it's a good deal, one way or the other.
All right, let's just come to the spicy part. What's your trading strategy?
So my trading strategy is currently, I look at highs of days, lows of days in gold or spot crude. And I also look at high of weeks, low of weeks. So everything boils down to I have a bigger picture on a trade where I can hold trades for 3, 4, 5 days if needs be. If I know if it's going to be a swing trade and it's hitting a certain point of interest for me, I'm definitely there. But also on the intraday perspective, I look at high of days, low of days, session highs, session lows, Asian high, Asian low, London high, London low, all sorts. So I use those two as my fundamentals to try and build up a strategy around my trading plan. But like I say, that's on the intraday perspective. I try and chase that 100 pips within that. So I look at the high of the range and the low of the range. Maybe in the Asian or London, doesn't matter. But I know if any of those two points are broken, I have a good chance that it's going to probably break the low of day or high of day. Depends on the day really. But that's mainly my strategy.
All right. So by the looks of it, what I understood was, let's say for example, as you were mostly trading crude oil or UK oil, US oil. So in that case, you are actually looking for the previous day's highs, previous day's lows, and mostly the high and lows, so that you can determine the range of your trade. After that, what you are actually looking for is maybe perhaps a liquidity grab or some important zones from which you can actually take the trade, and then some important zones, let's say for example Asian highs or Asian lows, in which you can actually close the trades. Does that
exactly
all right.
That.
All right.
Exactly
So
that. But I also do it with, once I see it breaks into my specific point of interest, I'll wait for confirmation. So I first wait up for like a change of character, a first bounce, or something where it gives me peace of mind to know, okay, it's actually going to turn. So yeah, I wait for confirmation before I actually just take the trade. So generally, I don't take limit orders or anything like that. When I trade, I really just wait until I see the breakdown or the formation of that it is gonna, it's gonna reverse or whatever the case may be.
all right. So what's your average stop loss?
My average stop loss is about 20 pips.
That's small. Isn't it hard to maintain such stop loss with crude oil?
It is. I'm not gonna lie. I've realized with crude, I might need to take 1 to 2, or maybe even 3 attempts to enter it properly. But it's very rewarding once it goes into my direction. So it kind of weighs itself off. I lose maybe $200-300 on my first 2 attempts, but maybe on the third one, I make it back one way or the other, just because of the range on crude. Like I said, now it's currently in a weird range for me personally now. But if you look at the previous month, I mean, crude was at so much range. I mean, I think there was 300, 400, 500 pips in one movement. So I was always looking for those, which was nice. But like I say, I always do the intraday stuff, but not so much on crude, to be honest with you. More on gold. I'm on the intraday trading.
What's your average risk to reward ratio in that case?
My average
Risk to reward ratio.
risk to reward.
Yeah.
For spot crude. Wow, I'd say it's 1 to 10.
1 to 10. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh,
1 to 10.
what's your average winning rate?
Now, currently, I'd say about between 5 and 6 out of 10 trades I'll win.
All right. What's the biggest profit you made in a single trade?
Biggest profit?
Yeah.
About 20,000.
That's impressive. Pretty impressive. All right. So now.
Yes, but I'd say a lot, and for me, my problem right now is that I don't have a lot of confidence in myself. I don't know why. I always tell myself, and this is where I need to really work on myself. I know I see the setups, and then there's days I doubt myself, and I say, then I do something totally different from what my original plan was. And my plan A always works, and I'm just trying to figure out how do I get over that bit of psychology within myself on the confidence to say, I've got this. This is my plan. This is my setup. It's good.
Well, I have a good news for you. In that case, we have actually recently onboarded a trading psychologist for the entire FundedNext funded traders. So yeah, you're gonna have a free session with him very soon, and he's gonna and we're having a meetup at Nigeria today, just after 15 minutes. So he's gonna be on there live, and at the same time, he's gonna be in our community section in the upcoming days as well. So yeah, any sort of problem related to psychology, he's the man to ask.
Awesome, that's great.
All right. So let's just talk about about psychology and consistency. So in your case, you are currently trading for almost 2 years now, right? So you have seen that how focusing on a single pair actually brings the best outcome, because in that case you're gonna know the ins and outs of those pairs, how it actually moves during the news, how it actually reacts during the session openings, and etc. So has your trading psychology ever affected your trading plan?
Yes, it has. I'll be honest with you, and I think it's something that I've been working on for a long time now, and I realize it's not something that can happen overnight. So I'd say yes, it has happened, where like I say, this is where the doubt comes in. Then you try and look for like maybe confluence from another trader, see what's the idea. And then I look at another trader and say, what's the idea? And I realize that everyone's got their own ideas, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's put me in a state of confusion. But it's not all the time, but I mean, there is days that I do get that feeling of where you feel overwhelmed. But I've realized I can just walk away from the screen. If I feel like, okay, I'm done, I finish, I walk away. So in the past, I could never do that. I would just sit until I made a big mistake, and then I'm like, okay, I shouldn't have done that. So, but now I've gotten to where that's been resolved. But I'm not perfect, but like if I can just change, like you said, on psychology with my trading plan. If I can just have those two things working in harmony, I definitely feel like I'll see. Greater results as a trader.
Is there anyone who inspires you in trading?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that inspires me to trade. Any successful, profitable trader inspires me really. I don't really look at other guys and say, he's not a good trader or this or that. I say anyone that's profitable and that's doing it full time. I have a lot of respect for. Because I know it's not easy, but at the same time, I know I can be there as well.
All right. So where do you see yourself in 3 years with trading?
In trading, I'll be honest with you, I'll probably see myself having at least, not even in 5 years, but I'd say maybe even in the next year. My goal is now to pass my funded account with you guys and just keep compounding accounts like I told you, and just to remain profitable with low risk, and probably have 10 accounts, maybe $50,000 accounts, 10 of them, low risk every day. If I lose, it's okay. If I win, great. But that's where I'm at. I see myself doing this full time, but I don't see myself sitting on a screen all day, every day for the rest of my life. At least 2 hours a day, I'm trading actively. I'm off the markets. I live my life freely.
All right. So you see yourself as a consistently profitable trader, right? All right. So yeah, anything else you'd like to share with the FundedNext family?
Yes, I'd like to. Yeah, I think that my trading journey has been like every other trader's has been, but I feel like I'm seeing a change within myself as a trader and also as a person. I think trading has definitely changed my psychology, but also myself. Of course, you have to change yourself in order to change your psychology. But if I look at my background of who I am as a person to where I am now, I've really changed a lot as a person. So I'm proud about that.
Yeah, that's really great to hear, and it was really nice talking to you today. So yeah, that's all for today. It was really nice talking to you, and hopefully we're gonna disburse you a lot of payouts in the upcoming days. Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. We just interviewed one of our most successful traders from South Africa. Until next episode, stay safe and take care.